Nice. It's nice to see. So who wants to, does someone want to, any comments or anything you'd like to share before we get started? Hi, Linda. Lovely to see you. I love your colours. You're always nice and colourful. Okay, so today is all about enhancing your active listening skills. And people tend to think, for me, I think listening is one of the most underrated skills that we can have in business, especially for business and coaching. I want you to imagine, those of you who are NLP trained may know this, or you may not, but this is something that I bring into all my trainings, where we get people to really think about how much information are we processing at any period of time. So I want you to imagine putting your hand out like this, just put your hand out, and imagine this being filled with 134 marbles. Do you know what marbles are? Marbles are the small glass. Some people know about it, some people don't. So they're a very old-fashioned toy that used to be around. Beautiful little glass balls, okay? So you're holding 134 of these in your hands, okay? Now I chuck another 11 million at you. So how's that going to feel? If you're trying to hold this in 11 million, you're trying to hold 11 million. The 134 marbles equates to the 134 bits of information that we can pay attention to at any one time. The 11 million marbles are everything else that's there. So actually, we are being bombarded with so much information that the skill of being a real good focused listener is to really set your intention. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to do a very quick, I'll just go through some slides. Then we'll put you into breakout rooms for 5-10 minutes, just a little while to have a wee chat with each other, because this is networking, and maybe just play a little bit with what we've covered. And then we'll come back, we'll get some feedback, and then we'll finish. So it's nice and short. And then I can let you know a little bit about the services I've got at the end. So people will tell you their problem and how to solve it. When I first heard this about 30 years ago, I went, no, that's not possible. But yes, people will tell you what their problem is. And when you really, really listen to them, they'll tell you how to solve that problem as well. But you can only listen to that when you're focusing. So you have to be actively listening so that you can hear that. What tends to happen when we hear when someone talks about a problem? What do you tend to do if someone talks about a problem? What do you do in your head? Who wants to jump onto microphone and share that? Yes, Sophia.
I fix it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So straight away, someone's got a problem. You're going, oh, well, I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. Meanwhile, they're busy telling you how they want that solved, but you've been too busy in your own head that you don't hear that. So it's very much a case of just listening. So you listen for problems and the solutions. You can do this by going into a know-nothing state. Now, very briefly, actually training, you have to train yourself to go into know-nothing state. But what we're looking at the know-nothing state is this is when you listen, you hear what's being said while having no judgment, assumption, or interfering self-talk. So it's actually the quickest way to do this is just tell yourself, listen. Silently and mentally, just tell yourself, listen, focus. Listen, focus. That's all you have to tell yourself, because we will go off wandering in our head. And the minute you're wandering in your head, you are no longer listening to anyone. Also listen out for voice tone. Voice tone is massive. Are they, sorry, that should be there. Are they anxious, angry, or frustrated? So if someone's, you can hear from their voice tone what state they've got themselves into when they're working with that problem. So are they angry? Are they anxious? Or are they just a little bit confused? There's so much you can pick up, and that's what you can use to guide how you then proceed. So it's really listening to what they're saying. You can feed back what someone's saying, and then use this to help listen to the voice tone and use this to help you guide how you proceed. Now, some of the things that can stop you hearing solutions, when someone says something, exactly what Sophia said, that sends you into solution mode and you start coming up with other ways to solve their problem in your head. Is the solution for their problem in your head? No. The solution for their problem is what they're saying and still normally talking about while you're going, oh, well, you could do that, they could do that, they could do the next thing. So it's understanding that everything is set out for you. What could also stop you is someone says something that makes you judge them, and then you go into your own stuff. So someone can say something that starts you off on, oh, well, I've had that problem as well. Or, oh, what do you mean they can't handle that? I've been able to handle that. There's all sorts of things that we can be doing almost unconsciously. You've heard of unconscious bias. Well, the unconscious bias all goes on in your head. So it can be, it's seeing things from coming up and maybe something's triggered in you or you're busy going off. And the minute you're off back into your own story, you're not listening. And then you're focusing on the problem, not the solution. You can be so busy listening to the problem and asking questions to keep them in the problem that you're not even giving the person you're listening to the chance to start coming up with a solution because you keep them focused on the problem. So what do you think would be one way? What's just one question you could ask to get someone coming up with their own solutions? Who would like to share that? Just one question. There you go, Magnus. Yeah.
What has to happen to change the situation?
Yes. What has to happen to change? And that's a beautiful question. Write that down. What has to happen to change this solution? What this does is this opens up possibilities. Okay. The minute someone says to you, what do you have to do to solve that problem? Well, I've got this problem. They're back into problem again. But when you say what has to happen, what needs to happen to solve this, so straight away you're taking the focus from that person, from their problem into the solution. And then you're not with that person. You're letting your mind wander. You've just not focused with that person. You've lost focus. You've lost attention. So remember, self-talk, focus, listen, focus, listen, because it's only for the time you're with someone. You cannot, now people talk about, well, I want to be an incredibly focused listener all the time. It's impossible. Well, maybe not, it's impossible for me. According to me, it's impossible. But even if it was possible, it's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. So going into a focused listening state means that you stop talking about things in your head. It's stop, focus, listen. And it's really taking the time to listen to that person, listen out for voice tone and all sorts of things that they're saying. And then setting the intention tells your brain what you want to focus on. So if you have a meeting with someone that's remember, this is a business networking. So if you've got a meeting with someone or if you're coaching someone, what you can say is you can say, okay, I'm going to listen out for their problem and their solution. My intention is. So by setting your intention and setting your expectation, it's almost, remember, you're getting 11 million bits of information every moment of time. You've got to find a way to cut through all that stuff, because all that information is not just coming from the person you're talking, it's coming from outside, everything around you. But when you actually focus into that person and put your intention to really listen, I'm going to listen out for their solution. How do they want to solve it? Because they'll tell you. In fact, Magnus is a member of one of the members of our NLP Business Circle Club, and you came up with that the other day, Magnus. That was one of the things that you mentioned, that it's incredible. Every time people will come up with their own solutions. So see what happens when you set your intention to really hear what's your client's problem is and to pick up the clues as to how they will solve it. So what I'm going to do just now, I'm going to put, first of all, any questions for this? And Rowan, lovely to see your wee boy. That's great. Happy for him to join us. Get them in early. That's a great thing. So,
Making his cameo.
sorry?
He's practicing his listening skills.
Fantastic. I know, and I can see it. He's really taking there. That's the age where you get focused concentration. They'll just do that with you.
Starting him early, yes?
So, what questions or comments have you got about what we've covered so far? Nothing? Okay, let me put you in breakout rooms because this is part of a networking event. Okay, so we'll just open up the breakout rooms and I'm going to put you 3 into a room. So, Rowan, we're going to move you to 2. And so we've got a 3, 3 and a 2. Philippa and I will be popping in and out the room. In fact, Philippa, I'll just put you into room 3. Okay, what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to share something. Share a problem you've got that's appropriate to talk about in the room. Now, this part's recorded, the breakout rooms are not recorded. And then the other 2 people, I want you to really listen. Notice where you're going while they're talking. Notice if you're going, oh, it's going to be my turn now. What problem am I going to think about? I don't know if I've got a problem. I don't know. So if you're doing all that, you're not listening to the person that's talking. And also see if you can, what happens when you set the intention to say, okay, so the person who's talking talks about their problem and let's see if we can get the solution from the other 2 people that are there. Okay, some of you are experiencing this and some of you might not. This might be the first time you're doing this, but it's cool. It's cool. And those of you who've got no camera on, that's fine. As long as you can come onto microphone, that's fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to open up all the rooms. It is, so we're going to go in here for about 15 minutes. And we've got Teresa joining us. I'll let Teresa in. And if other people, when other people come in, we'll just send them into rooms. So go and play with this. Go and play with really listening. Sophia, you've got something to say? Yeah?
Yeah, I have a question. You said if we could find the solution. So
Yes.
are we going to pronounce the solution or are we going to ask questions or how
You're going
do you want
you're going to ask questions and let them come up. See if you can hear for the person, sorry, I didn't make that clear. The person who is talking about their problem, ask questions and really listen to hear them coming up with their own solutions.
Yeah, great.
So it's really you hearing them coming up with their own solutions.
Perfect.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, and I'll just pause the recording. Okay, so we'll just start the recording again. And after we get some feedback with everyone, if anyone would like to book a strategy session with me, it's a 45-minute free strategy session. You can just email me at fiona@theprofessionalgrowthcompany.com. And there's another couple of offers that I want to just let you know about. But before I do that, just quickly, what did you get from that? That was great. I was jumping in and out of the rooms, so I was getting to see everyone. So what did you get from that scenario? Who wants to come onto microphone? I'll take a feedback from a couple of people. Okay, Philippa, do you want to share what you got there?
Yes, exactly, with me coming up with the solution. As I was talking myself round in circles, really, and then thinking of it, and I was like, oh, yes, actually, I could do this or I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
But also to share the challenge of you not giving someone a solution. When Araf and I were chatting, and then he's got a recruitment challenge, and I'm sat here dying to
As the
say,
owner of our recruitment going.
what about this? What about that? Have you tried this? And I was thinking, try and do an open question.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, for the person that is listening, it is a challenge not to just blurt out a potential solution.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Or a
especially if
leading
it's-
question, give them a leading question of going, what about? And you think, oh, that's leading, it's not open.
Uh-huh. But again, sometimes when you're looking for the solution, you can lead someone. If you're moving them towards the solution, you can occasionally do a little bit. What, have you considered? That's a nice one. Have you considered? Arif, what did you get from that?
So I had the intention to be quiet, right? So even when I thought I want to say something, I was going, don't say it, Arif, don't say it. Right? So I was sort of just nodding and, taking in the information and then just repeating some of her words every now and again to tell her I was listening, So I hope you felt that I wasn't really interrupting that much. Don't know.
So what difference did that make from the information you were getting?
I was getting lots of information. And when she was, originally when she started, she was talking quite fast. And when it came to the solution time, it was slightly slower.
So you noticed a change.
Yeah, I noticed a change
This is
in
what tends to happen. Someone's talking about and they're in the problem, and then all of a sudden they're getting their light bulb moments in their head.
Yeah. And I thought, oh, there's a lot of clinking going on there.
Yeah, and sometimes a hesitancy to actually verbalize that, because the minute they start talking about their solution, they're taking personal responsibility for that solution. Fabulous. Sophia, what did you get in your room?
I think it's I'm getting curious about what when we are two people listening to a third, what we can hear different things.
Yes.
Because I believe that Magnus was his picture was more clear than mine after then Colin has told us what he wanted to dig into. And I took a while before I understood, and I didn't understand. So I think I had to ask again. So it's quite interesting how different we hear, even though both of us were listening.
Yeah. Remember, 11 million bits of information that we're all getting, and they're all getting mixed up and jumbled and all sorts of things. So yes, we're seeing and hearing completely different things. And again, it depends how much you tune yourself up to this. I know that people like Magnus, people like Philippa, we're working all the time with this. Probably every day we're working with these type of, being tuned up and calibrating. Sometimes that it's just reminding yourself to really tune yourself up to listen. Okay, but brilliant, absolutely brilliant. That's lovely the way you got the two differences. Colin, I would like to hear, I'll come to you in a moment, Ken. Colin, what did you get from that?
I'd like to fit on to the back of Sophia's about what Magnus said about the problem. I he came down to a model that I'd heard before, and it was brilliant. And he started talking about effectiveness, efficiency, and it just, wow, that was where my conversation will have to go.
Okay, so you ended up getting
I got a starter for 10 for certain.
Fantastic. Yes, yeah, that's what we like to hear. Okay, thank you, Ken.
Yes, I was just wondering, what role does perception play? Well, sorry, what role does perception play when listening?
Huge.
It's about this thing, you have two people who are listening to the same thing, but we don't hear exactly. We have different perceptions.
Yeah. That's huge. What do you think? Why do you think we get all sorts of problems in offices? But they didn't say that. They didn't want that, according to whom, or from So yes, someone's perception and someone's state.
Yeah,
plays a huge part as well. So if you're going for the perception, say for example, there's a lot of changes going on in an organization, and you maybe are threatened with redundancy, you're going to hear things in a completely different way to someone who's been told their job's really secure. So the perception that you're listening. So this is why when we're working with as a coach or using NLP skills in business, we're actually sitting as much as possible, you're staying out of perception and you're going into a know-nothing state to really hear what that person is saying as much as you can. Has that answered your question?
Yes, yes,
That one, yeah.
thank you.
And you can see someone's state with their body movements, body language, and also with their voice tone. Okay, so thank you very much. This is the first NLP networking lunch, so that's fantastic. I want to just show you this at the moment. I know some of you are members of this. We've got 2 offers here. I recently launched the Professional Growth Club. If you go to professionalgrowth.club, if you want to go onto that in your phones now and just have a look at it, it's professionalgrowth.club. That's $9 a month, or it's 12 months for 9. You just pay for 9 months. You can pay annually. And what you get with that club, it's the leader system, which is 6 training courses. It's all self-learning. And when you work through the courses, you get a certificate for each course. Also, each month I am posting a new course. There's a new course will come up each month just for 30 days. So you get 30 days to do that one, and then that will change. So the course that's coming up at the beginning of July is, it's all about time management, effective time management. So that will be the extra course. These are all business courses. This particular club I've put together to share my corporate knowledge. This is the type of courses that I've been delivering in businesses for over 30 years. And it's all self-learning. We do have a couple of, we're going to be introducing from next month, the live Q&A sessions. So there'll be about 2 Q&A sessions a month for that. The other one is if you have already attended an NLP training, we've got the NLP Business Circle. And I'll send you all the details of this. I'll be contacting everyone with this. The NLP Business Circle is a club for international business professionals. It's normally $90 a month. It's, in fact, let me just see, I've got the, hang on. Let's see if I've got the link. Yes, I've just put the link in the chat. If you want to open that up, you will see as a member, you get access not only to 2 live, it's 2 hours. This is only a 45-minute with a tiny little bit of information. In the Business Circle, we do 2-hour masterclasses, 2 of them every month. But the important thing for this, for me, really where I think the value is you get access to all the vaults, all the archived videos, so it's a masterclass, videos, audios, and workbooks. And also I'm happy for people to share that information. I'm happy for you to use everything that I've put together. You can use that to teach other people NLP skills. So that one is for people that are trained in NLP. If you want to find out more about my coaching, one-to-one coaching, or you're deciding that you might do further NLP training or an introduction to NLP training, just let me know. Just send Fiona at professionalgrowthcompany.com and we'll book a 45-minute strategy session, complimentary, just to discuss what it is you're looking for, to see if I can help you or your company. Okay, so if you just want to really put a wee thing in the chat box, what have you taken away for this? What's your takeaway from this little short lunch? Because it's always, yes.
I'm happy to go.
Okay.
Active listening skills are really, really useful and you know, underrated because it's such a game changer at home and at work. You know, as Ken and I were discussing, you know, sometimes at home, especially after having babies, sleep deprivation, I feel like sometimes, you know, we talk in circles or on parallel planes, right? Versus just saying to yourself, focus and listen, could change a lot in how we really observe. And also, you know, it's VAK at play, where we really kind of tune into our partner or our client or our colleague and really understand and connect with what they are experiencing and how we can guide or work with them to sort of get the best out of their situation.
Yeah. And it's just sometimes holding a space when you really listen. We're living in a busy, busy world, a very busy world. And people are too busy talking and not listening. When someone actually holds space and listens to you, you feel valued. And also sometimes just that listening with no judgment, no assumptions, no solutions, gives you the space. Well, not sometimes, it always gives you the space to come up with your own solution. So it's really important. Okay, so hopefully I'll see you next week. This is a weekly event. Let people know about this. I really want to sort of grow this event. And as I said, this is just, it's small tips, but we want to make it useful and things that you can actually apply straight away in business. Okay, I'll put the recording off. I'll be here for a few minutes if anyone wants to chat, and just give yourself a round of applause. Thank you very much. And see you
And
soon.
thank you, Fiona. Thank you for holding space for us.
Thank you. Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Have a good afternoon. Nice to meet you all.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.